So the past paper year is 2022 May June series, and variant is 21. You have about 45 minutes to solve this past paper according to the Cambridge IGCSE. So let's start with the question number 1. One second. Question number 1. Which two gases will diffuse at the same rate and the same temperature? At the same temperature and the same rate. So we can consider temperature is the RTP, room temperature and pressure are the conditions here. Then we have to check the same rate. For the same rate, the both of the gases will have the same mass here, na? MR must be same. Okay, bachcho. So which of the two gases will give you the correct answer here? First one is 28. The mass is 28, 44. So A is not our choice. Then you have a 28 and the nitrogen is 28. So B is the correct answer. Why? Because these two gases have the same molecular mass. The molecular mass is the thing that is required for the diffusion of our gases. If the molecular mass is high, the rate of diffusion is low. If the molecular mass is low, the rate of diffusion is high. So we can say that the rate of a diffusion is inversely proportional to the molecular mass of a gas. Now, the rate of a diffusion is directly proportional to the temperature of a gas. Another thing, for the temperature, the rate of diffusion is directly proportional to the temperature of a gas, but the main factor to check the rate of a diffusion is the MR, molecular mass of a gas. Now the next question, a student measures the time taken for 2 gram of a magnesium to dissolve in 50 centimeter cube of a dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid is used. 2 gram of magnesium is used here to dissolve. Dissolve means get react with the metal get reacts with the acid, and the time is taking here. Now, so you will use a stopwatch. Obviously, stopwatch is a very important point here. Then measuring cylinder, thermometer, or the balance. Balance is our requirement. Yes, balance is our requirement because of a change of a mass here. The mass will be changed. The use of mass of a magnesium. Then measuring cylinder is our requirement to measure the volume of a dilute nitric sulfuric acid. Thermometer is not required here. Why? Because there is no use of a temperature here. So the correct answer is A. Yes, am I clear to all of you? Thank you. Now the next thing, Acha, in the next time, please drop the emoji of the thumbs up so I can see on the screen now. Okay. The number the numbers of our protons and neutrons and the electronic structures. Sorry, let me start it again. The numbers of a proton, neutrons, and the electronic structure of a four particle W, X, Y, and the Z are given to you. So the proton numbers are the same and their neutrons numbers are different here. The electronic configuration is 2, 8, 2, 6, and the 2, 6. So these two are the isotopes. Why their number of electrons are the same, but here the number of electron is different as the gain of a electron. Here is the gain of electron. So as the gain of electron, the electrons are gained here. That's why the this one is an ionic state. Okay, got it, Bichu? So the ionic state of a substance, that is X or Y. Then the second one, The proton number is different here, so this element, the Z, is a different element. W, X, Y are the atoms of the same element. X and Y are the isotopes, and the W is what? W is the ionic state of a Y. Y, this one is the ionic state of a Y. Why? Because the number of neutrons are same here, so the Y and the W are same, and this one is a ionic state. Okay, बच्चों. Now, which particle have the same chemical property? So the same chemical property particles are those which are the isotopes here. So Ahmed have give the answer C. So C is the correct answer or not? Yes, C is the correct answer, as the X and Y both are the isotopes. These two are the isotopes, and the isotopes have the same chemical property. Why? Because of a same valency, or you can say that the outer shell electrons are same outer shell electrons. Any question here, bachon? Please drop the emoji, thumbs up or the thumbs down, or if there any question, raise your hand. No? Okay. Which substance should be pure? We have to check the which substance should be pure for the intended use. Okay. A drug of curing disease, limestone for iron extraction, petroleum for fraction distillation, and water for washing car. Intended use means what? It is meant by this. Yes, bachon. Yes. Yes, it can be used of now. Okay. So a drug for the curing a disease. A drug for the curing of a disease is the correct answer here. A substance should be a pure here. Pure substance must be used in the drugs for curing of a disease. Limestone for an iron extraction, petroleum fraction distillation. The petroleum fraction distillation is not the pure substance because it's a mixture. Water for washing a car is also not a pure substance. The tap water is not a pure water. Okay, and the limestone is not a pure substance. Got it, bete? Now the next thing, question number 5. Metals and the ionic compounds have similar properties. The metals and the ionic compounds have the have similarities and the difference in their structure and the properties. Which row about metals and ionic compounds are correct? Okay, the both let's solve one by column wise now. Okay, similarities. The metals, which row about the metals and the ionic compound? We have to check the similarities between the metals and the ionic compound. Both contains a positive ion. This one is a correct one. So we have to work on A and B. Okay. Now let's check the difference. The difference is only ionic compounds contain the ions. This one is correct. So the A is the correct answer here. Ahmed is already give the correct answer A. Ionic compounds contains a CO of electron. No, this one is the property for the Metals. The metals have the sea of electrons. Now, next question. Which diagram represents the outer shell electrons arrangement in the nitrogen molecule? The nitrogen molecule, nitrogen with an atomic number of a 7 and its electronic configuration is 2 and 5. So the nitrogen atom will be like this. The one pair of electron and the 3 are the unpaired electrons. One pair electrons and the 3 are the unpaired electrons. So you have a two pair electrons are here. A is not correct. Then you have a one, two, three, and the two pair of electrons. No, one, two, three, four total. The each have the four electrons total. Na, so the B is not correct here. Then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there is no triple bond here. So obviously the D is the correct answer. The two there are the each atom has the one lone pair of electron and the each atom is bonded with the three electrons. Means the triple bond is formed here. So the D is the correct answer here. Now the next question. This next question is for the solubility of a salts, na? Formation of a salt. So you have a barium chloride, sulfuric acid forms the barium sulfate and the hydrochloric acid. In the equation they have written as the reaction between the barium chloride and the dilute sulfuric acid. If the dilute sulfuric acid, that means it's a aqueous. And for the insoluble salt, you there is a insoluble salt is formed here. For the insoluble salt, we always take a two aqueous solution, two aqueous salt solution. One of the students have already give the answer. So the correct answer is the A here. Aqueous. Both are the aqueous here. Acha, if the salt solution is not present, we can use the acid as well. So the acid, dilute acid is also used here. Then the solid insoluble salt is formed with the aqueous solution of a HCl. Question number 8. The relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass, that is AR, of an element is determined by comparing the mass of one atom, the element, with the mass of one atom of the element Q. We compare the relative atomic mass of every element with the mass of one atom and which element we use for this purpose. So for this purpose we use the element is the carbon here. In the definition of the relative atomic mass, the carbon 6, they have written the carbon 6. So the carbon is used to find the relative atomic mass of an element. Now the next question, question number 9. The equation for the reaction between the aqueous lead nitrate and the aqueous sodium chloride is shown here. We have 100 centimeter cube of aqueous. Here is a 100 centimeter cube of aqueous lead nitrate. Concentration for the lead nitrate is 0.1, is reacted with the excess of a sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is in the excess form, so where the sodium chloride will not use in the calculation. Now, which mass of a lead 2 chloride? The mass of a lead 2 chloride is obtained here. Now, so we have to check this. So the mass of a lead 2 chloride, we have to check the mass of lead 2 chloride. First of all, we're going to find the moles of a lead nitrate here. So to calculate the moles of a lead nitrate, the zero point 0.1, that is a concentration, multiplied by zero point 0.1, which is a volume. Volume must be converted into a dm cube. Can any one of you give me the answer? Zero point 0.1 multiplied by zero point 0.1? Yes. Okay. The answer is 0.01. Then for the molecule MR of a lead nitrate here, now the ratio. Now we are going to apply the ratio here. They are asking for the lead chloride mass. So the ratio is between the two substances, lead nitrate and the lead chloride. The ratio is 1 is to 1. If the ratio is 1 is to 1, so the same moles, these moles will be the same for the lead chloride. Now, the mass for the lead chloride, to find the mass of lead chloride, the mass of for the mass of a lead chloride, we have to check the periodic table, and the periodic table is already given to us in the paper. Lead is 207 and the 2 chlorine, lead is 207 plus 2 chlorine is 71. What mass we will get here? Quickly, please give me the answer. 278. Am I right? 278 multiplied by 0.01. So what will be the answer here, bachcho? C is the correct answer here. Yes. If we multiply with the 0.01 with the 278, you will get the answer is 2.78 gram. Clear? Any question? Now the next question. The diagram shows the electrolysis of a concentrated. We having a concentrated hydrochloric acid and the concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. So, in the concentrated hydrochloric acid, the products are hydrogen and the chlorine, and for the concentrated aqueous chloride, the products are also hydrogen and a chlorine. Okay. Now, at which electrode is hydrogen is produced? So we have to check at which electrode the hydrogen is produced. Hydrogen is a cation. The nature of a hydrogen is a cation here. So the cation is always produced at the cathode. Okay, bachcho. So for the cathode, means it always produced at the cathode, na bachcho. So the correct answer is here is 2 and 4. Negative charge, both are the negative charge here, 2 and 4. So the correct answer is D. Any question you want to ask? Yes. Any question? Okay. Now the next question. Aqueous copper 2 sulfate is electrolyzed using a copper electrode. We have a copper 2 sulfate here using is electrolyzed using a copper electrodes. The copper electrodes are a non-inert electrode. Non-inert electrode are those which reacts with the solution. The half equation. What is the ionic half equation for the reaction at the cathode? Okay, for this type of reaction, anode, the copper will lose the electron at the anode and gains the electrons at the cathode. So the at the cathode the copper will gain the electron. So according to this, the correct answer is B. Good, here Zainab, you have given the correct answer. Very good. Now the next question. Which row identify the chemical change and the physical change? We have to check the chemical change and the physical change here. Okay. Boiling and the burning. These two are the boiling, burning, dissolving ethanol in water, evaporating ethanol. These all are the physical change. Am I right or wrong? Burning ethanol, evaporating ethanol, burning ethanol, dissolving ethanol. Evaporating ethanol and the dissolving ethanol in a water. For the physical change row, the physical change row, we have to work on B and C. A and C is not our choice according to the physical one, na? Physical row. Column, sorry, column, physical column. Now, burning ethanol and the evaporating ethanol. Evaporating is not a chemical change. Burning ethanol is a chemical change. Why? The type of a reaction is a combustion reaction. If you burn the ethanol in the open air, the type of reaction is what? Combustion reaction. And in the combustion reaction, the carbon dioxide gas plus water is produced. Carbon dioxide gas and water is produced. Now the next question. The equation for the reaction between the gaseous hydrogen and the gaseous iodine is from a gaseous hydrogen iodide is shown here. Okay, here's a reaction. Now the reaction is the exothermic. The type of reaction is the exothermic, means the heat energy is produced. Which statement explain why the reaction is the exothermic? Yes, any one of you please can drop the answer here. D. The more energy is released, the more I get the answer from the two students. D is they are giving the option D is the correct. Let's discuss the correct option if the D is the correct or not. More energy is released when two hydrogen iodide bonds are formed, then is used when the hydrogen and the iodine bonds are broken down. Okay, the formation exothermic reaction is the reaction in which the heat energy is released. So this sentence says that the two hydrogen iodide means the 2 moles of hydrogen iodides are formed. To form these 2 moles of hydrogen iodide, the energy will be released from a hydrogen and the iodine. So D is the correct answer here. Any question here, बच्चों? मेरी recording भी चल रही है.